Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome. It's your man VACAY-J, and welcome to VACAY-JTV. I am your host today for what we have and what is called Power Therapy, family. Now, again, we've done this before with Ghost and the last season of Raising Kanan. And this time we're doing it for the series finale, family. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. And again, I can't wait to chop it up with all of you guys to talk about this. Now, you guys, look, I must really love you because your man was sick as a dog yesterday. Here I am now. And I said, you know what? I'm committed to my fam. I'm going to come before you, sick or not. And we're going to get into this power therapy, fam. So we got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. I hope you're ready to share. And we're going to sit down together. We're going to sit down together. We're going to talk it out. I'm going to sit on the couch. You're going to sit on the couch. We're going to help each other out. We're going to help each other out here. You know what I'm saying? And we're absolutely going to get into power therapy. All right. I see you, fam, coming in the door. Absolutely. You know what to do. Share this out. Power therapy is on, fam. And if you're ready to talk about it, ready to get into it, I'm ready to share what I know and what I've gone through and how we're going to work this thing out with power therapy. Hope you like the set. It's time. It's time, family. All right, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. Another fire. Yeah, we cry, we laugh, we learn from all the drama. Now we breaking down the issues, facing every trauma. So our lives up on the screen, a cycle we can break through. Giving real talk solutions with the whole entire crew. We feeling all the emotions, every high and every low. It's power therapy with VACAY-JTV, let the healing flow. Yeah, Papa 3 is right here, so lean in real close. Time to talk it through together and get this heavy dose. Another fire vacay intro. Lights rise slow. Storm clouds over city nights. Feel the trumpets blow. Yeah, we cry, we laugh, we bled through all the drama. Standing tall inside the chaos, walking through the trauma. See our stories on the screen, but this is where we break through. Turning pain into a blueprint, lifting up the whole crew. We ride the waves of emotion, every high and every low. It's power therapy with VACAY-JTV, watch the healing glow. Your Papa 3 is in the building, let the trumpets boast. Time to face it all together, take this legendary dose. Salute.
Ladies and gentlemen, how we do? How y'all doing out there, fam? How you feeling, huh? You good? Everybody good? It's your boy VACAY. Listen, today's the day, family. Today, as promised, here we are. Power therapy, fam. I see y'all in the building. Thank you for coming through. Make sure you hit that like button, share this out, because we got a lot to talk about today. And fam, man, it's a lot, fam. And I got a couple questions for all of you guys, man. We're gonna get to it. And yeah, I just want to make sure we're in the right state of mind. It's been over a week, right? It's been over a week. And a lot of us really miss Raising Kanan, right? A lot of us were affected by this thing here. Some of us, you know, we really miss it because we related and we connected with this show. What's going on? I see you, John Skull Hustle. I see you, DeMarcus. I see you, everybody. I see you, AK1. How you doing? Happy Saturday. Happy any day that you're watching this. Welcome to Power Therapy, fam. And I'm ready to talk about a couple things that I think all of us may have connected with, all of us may have related to. You know, it was a lot. It was a lot in this season, this series. I think all of us can admit that truly were affected by the unalivement of Marv and even Rock, right? And family, we got a lot to get into today. And if you are ready to get into it, I need you to put a number 1 in the chat if you're ready to get into it. Put a number 1 in the chat, Cheryl. Put a number 1 in the chat, family, if you're ready to get into it, because I got a whole lot for y'all today. And again, I just to go through this is power therapy, but you know, I just need to put up this disclaimer here and let you guys know. And let me move this over first. Let you guys know, look, I am not a licensed therapist, okay? So just know that. I know it feels like that. It may feel like that. I just been through a lot of stuff and I've learned how to get through it. So hopefully all of you can rock with me today. We're going to work this out together. We're going to do this together. If you're cool with that, I'm cool with that, but I am not a licensed therapist. I see the ones in the chat. Family, a lot has happened. So let's talk about it, all right? Let's talk about it. Let me pull up some things here. First and foremost, put the music down. First and foremost, like I said, sick as a dog yesterday, but I'm committed to y'all. I'm committed to my fam. I said I'm going to do this. And was there a super chat? Hold on. Shout out to DeMarcus, man. Thank you for that super chat. I appreciate you. $10 super chat. He says, if Raising Kanan aired first before OG Power, would Power be as popular as it is now? What was your favorite? Okay, we'll get into that. But thank you for that super chat. We'll talk about that in a minute. So, fam, let's get into this. I want to ask this question, this honest question to all of you. All right, let me put you like right here. I'll put you right here. Okay. Here's a question for all of you guys. It's been a little bit over a week since Raising Kanan is aired, right? Since the finale of the series. So I got to ask the real question. Here's the real question. You know, how are you feeling since the Raising Kanan season series finale? How are you feeling? Because some people are like, okay, cool, that was a cool show, and then they kind of move on. Some people, you know, may be affected by this. Some people may be like, you know what, man, I missed this show. This show was everything to me. And some people are really, really kind of distraught that this show is off the air. So in the chat, chime in below. Let me know, how are you feeling that the series is over? You know, let me see. Johnson Go Hustle. She says, were you happy with the ending? I was, surprisingly, yeah. But how you feel? How do you feel about it ending the way that it did? We're going to talk about it. We're going to work through it. You know? We're going to work through all of this. Yeah. Because some people, again, didn't want this to end. Some people are like, hey, it was a great show. I'm ready for Origins. Because I want all of us to kind of understand that we kind of have to deal with some of our feelings, right? A lot of people want to suppress this. A lot of people don't take it serious, like, oh, it's just a show. And some people are just like, yo, this is more than a show to me. This is like, I related to this. I connected with this. And, you know. All right, let's see. You said, Marcus says, I feel great about Raising Kanan finale. Okay. Nature says, well, we knew it had to end, so now we just wait and see what Origins does. Okay. What's going on, Miss Cupcake? Says, I feel great and moving forward with life. Rock is not going to worry me. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some things, you know, that we may have connected with. So that was the next question. You guys are kind of answering that next question right here. You know, are you satisfied or dissatisfied with the ending? You know, I see the market says time for Power Origins. I feel you. I see you. Yeah. So are you satisfied or dissatisfied with this ending here? Because some people, you know, like I said, some people feel like this was like part of their life. For the past 5 years, this has been a staple in our hearts. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of folks, like I said, I started covering the show episode 9 of the first season. That's when I started actually doing like recaps and stuff. So yeah, look, I feel y'all. A lot of people really didn't want this show to end. They didn't want it to end at all. You know, but it's all good. You said it's time for Origins, time for Power Origins. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go through it, fam. As you know, like I said, I'm not a licensed therapist. I just been through some stuff and kind of know how kind of work through some things. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of work through some things. So I wanted to share a couple of things that I've learned along the way that you may know and some of you may not know, right? Some of you may not know. So I'm just going to pull this up real quick and just share this out, man. Put this together for y'all because I think some people may need this. That's what I think, but who knows? We'll see. All right. And some of you familiar with this. I talked about this before. You know, there are 5 stages of grief. Now, some people are going through grief. Some people are going through, you know, some things here when it comes down to the show ending and these characters, because some people take this serious. Some people take this as like real life. You know what I mean? Like some people see this as part of their life. So, of course, you know, let's go through real quick. 5 stages of grief. Let me put you out the way for a second. All right. Denial. Who's in denial? All right. Any of you guys in denial? Let's be honest. Let's be honest and be just be real with each other. Who right here, right now feels in denial? This can't be happening. Numbness, disbelief that Rock is gone, that Marv is gone, you know? Because like I said, there are some people who really connected with this show on a personal level, right? Are you angry? You know what I'm saying? Why me? This isn't fair. Resentment, outbursts. Did this show and the things that happen in this show trigger you? Because for a lot of folks, it may have triggered you because of your connection with these folks, the relatability to the characters, and yeah, just the loss. Did you feel depressed? You know, I'm gonna get to that. So angry. Were you angry at what Juke did? Were you angry at what? Of course, we were all angry at what your boy Kanan did, right? Taking out Lou and Marv, right? We were all angry about that. I think we've been through all these different phases. There's no particular order that it has to go in. It doesn't start off with denial. It can start off with depression. It can start off with anger. So let's talk about the bargaining, right? And let me know in below. Let me know in the comments below. All right. Bargaining says, please let me just have searching for a way out. Right. So some people just like, man, I can't believe this. Let me get out of this shit. You know what? Can I do this in order to not feel this way? Can I do that in order to not feel that way? Some people use vices, right? You know the vices that people use. Some drink, some do some other stuff, you know? But everybody sometimes gets to the point where they just don't want to deal with it. So they're just like, man, get me out of this situation. Then we got depression. I think a lot of us have gone through that. All right. I see DeMarcus, you said 3 and 5. 3 is bargaining and 5 acceptance. Okay. Let me see. Cheryl says, I didn't want the show to end. There's too many unalivements. The mom, Lou, Marv, then Rock. Yeah. Thank you for being honest. I feel you, Cheryl. Thank you for your honesty. Yeah. They say DeMarcus says Rock and Marvin had to pass the torch. Yeah. Hey Queen, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. Yeah. So, we're dealing with this 5 stages of grief. And thank you again, Cheryl, for just being honest and upfront with everybody here. And saying that you didn't want it to end and it was just too many, right? It was too much back to back. Did that trigger you? And again, I'm not trying to trigger you, but did that trigger you? Because some people may have been triggered. Some people may have had death in their family, right? And because of that, they kind of reminded them of that. That's why we're here to talk about it. We're to talk through it, very important for us, right? So depression, I miss them so much. Sadness, regret, and quiet. How many people can admit that at some point, raise your hand, put the hand up in the chat. At some point, you may have felt like, you know what, I miss this person so much. You go into your little bubble. You kind of withdraw from society. You withdraw from your friends, yeah. And, you kind of get to a place where you just feel like you're alone. You kind of isolate yourself. How many people can admit that they've isolated themselves to get away from, all the hurt and the pain and everything that's just happened? And then we got number 5. I see you. Number 5, it says acceptance. It's going to be okay. Finding peace and moving forward. How many people are at 5? I see you, Kenitra. Kenitra says she is at 5. We said, for me, no place but 5, acceptance. This is okay. Got you. Marcus says, Rock putting Joyce Thomas out of her misery bothered me the most. Got you. Thank you for being honest, DeMarcus. Why did it bother you, brother? What triggered you in that incident there? And I appreciate your honesty, man. I appreciate everybody being honest today. Because I could say it may have kind of triggered me too. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the fact that you taking out your moms like that, I feel you. Marcus says 5, you had acceptance. Cheryl says 5. Okay, acceptance. But you also said 3 and 5. Got you. Kenitra says 5, acceptance. When you're as deep in that street life as they were, this is what can happen. True. Very, very true. Very true. I can understand that. And I can, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. You in this life, this is bound to happen. It is what it is. It's the life you chose. So because this is the life you chose, guess what? You have to suffer the repercussions of all the stuff that comes with it, right? Okay. Good stuff, man. Thank you, fam, for sharing your thoughts with me today. If you're watching live or the replay, definitely chime in below. Let me know your thoughts on this as well. All right. And so let's talk about this. Let's do this real quick. Being that we know the 5 stages, can we talk about some solutions, right? Because we may know people, if we're not going through it, we may know some people who, are going through these things. We may not be going through it, but some people may be going through it, So we talked about the denial, right? The cause, shock, avoidance. Some solutions. Allow yourself to be numb. Seek support without pressure, and acknowledge reality gently, right? So if you're in denial, and some people won't admit that they are in denial, fam. Like, again, disclaimer, I just want to let you know, I am not a licensed therapist. I just been through some stuff. I learned some stuff, and now I'm sharing it, okay? So some people don't admit when they're in denial, right? How many people, show of hands, or just put a 1 in the chat, because you're number 1. I consider you number 1, and you should consider yourself number 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you ever have been in denial and had to come to terms with admitting that you were denying that you were in denial. Some people just don't want to face some things, right? So Kiwan, thank you for sharing. She says, I will miss those intro songs. I'm at acceptance and ready for oranges. Okay. Oh, you don't got to miss it, Kiwan. I appreciate that love. There's more intro songs coming. There's way more intro songs coming, but I got so many more in the chamber. I appreciate you for real. What's going on, Support Gaming in the building? What's good? Thank you for coming through. Let me know y'all can hear me loud and clear. Let me know I'm good. Let me know I'm good. Like I said, I was sick as a dog the other day, and I said I cannot not be here. I had to be here. So Kenitra says 1. Okay. You are number 1. That's right. All right. So anger, fam. And I see DeMarcus, I'm gonna come to your comment in a minute. Let's talk about anger. The cause of anger, powerlessness, and injustice, right? What are the solutions for anger if you're feeling angry when, you know, some of these stages have hit you, right? 1, 2, it could hit you all at the same time. Solutions to anger. Physical outlet, right? Exercise, punching bag, go play basketball, go play some video games. Really, it should be physical. The video games is not physical, fam. You need to actually move your body. You need to actually get out there, right? Talk about the anger. Express yourself creatively. Breathe deeply. I know the last 2 I do. And admit this. I know I'm chuckling a little bit, but we're dealing with some emotions here that some of us don't like to talk about, and some of us get uncomfortable. So I appreciate y'all for getting a little uncomfortable with me as I'm being a little vulnerable myself. There are times when I do get angry, and it's okay to get angry. You know, the Bible says it's okay to get angry. Just don't violate, right? Expressing myself creatively and breathing deeply is something that I do often to offset some of the anger that I feel towards certain situations and even certain people, you know, that do certain things and they may not even realize they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? So instead of taking my energy and putting it towards them, I take my energy and I reverse engineer it into being creative and speaking in a creative way and doing creative stuff like this to offset my anger and the wrath that I could take out on other people. But I usually let God handle most of my battles. Most. If it needs to happen where I need to step in, then I do what I have to do. Right? But expressing yourself creatively, breathing deeply, and talking about it is definitely great solutions. Okay, I see you here. Now let me go back to the chat. Monka said, I could not handle a mother being eliminated by her daughter. I really understand where Marvin and Lulu were coming from. Yeah, I feel you, brother. Thank you for being honest, man. Thank you for that. Kiwan says, scream, ground, journal. Got it. Now, when you say ground, what do you mean by ground? Not screaming into the ground, right? But what, like getting on the ground, like getting outside, putting your feet in the grass? Is that what you mean by that? But scream, yeah, I mean, go to wherever you need to go. Some people go to their car, they scream, right at the top of their lungs. Some people go to the top of a mountain or the top of a hill, or they go outside and they just release, right? Some people go to theme parks, to be honest with you. Some people go, you know, make their way to a theme park or make their way to some place that they could take a ride and just release and just be free and not have to be in control, right? And just kind of like scream their way through it. Again, what do you mean by ground? Would love to understand that. Okay. I mean, I said, the mark says candles help with therapy. Okay. So you use candles, or you're suggesting candles. Okay. Yeah, you mean like therapeutic candles, like the aroma, like a lavender, or like something to calm you down. Yeah. You know, some people, I light incense. I do. I light incense sometimes. All right. So bargaining. I think the Marcus, you mentioned bargaining. You said 3 at some point. Let me move over here. The cause of that, desire to avoid pain and regret, right? So what are the solutions for that? Accept some things are beyond control. Journal your thoughts. Focus on the present moment, right? Practice self-compassion. Okay. So that's the solution when you're in that stage of bargaining. But the cause, we always got to look at the cause of why this is happening, right? Desire to avoid pain and regret. I think a lot of us can relate to that, right? A lot of us can relate to not wanting to deal with some of the situations and some of the people who have caused the situation, right? So we try to avoid them and we try to avoid the situation. Maybe we did something that we regret, right? Maybe we were with someone that we shouldn't have been with, or maybe we was rolling with somebody doing something we shouldn't have been doing. It's like, man, I shouldn't have done that because I did this with this person and it was their idea. Now this other person is hurt by it, right? So practice self-compassion. How many people out there feel like they've practiced self-compassion? I know in this show, there was not a lot of compassion going on, except for the end when Kanan actually felt some type of way and went to Stefano. He had compassion for his mom. Even his mom had compassion for Kanan, right? Went to the feds and was like, listen, if I'm going to give this up, I definitely want to make sure my son is good too. You know what I mean? So this one is not spoken about a lot, bargaining, but definitely I think most of us have gone through that, right? All right, look. This one right here, I think a lot of us have dealt with at some point in their life. Let me see your comment, Kiwan. She says, when I lost my mom, I would get so impatient with myself because I thought I had to get over it real quick. Yep, I had to be patient with myself. Man, thank you, Kiwan, for sharing that. Appreciate that, for real. And my condolences with losing your mom. I don't know when it happened, but it doesn't even matter when it happened. It's just the fact that it did happen, and that we have to, of course, be compassionate and keeping you in our prayers. I'm keeping you in mind because, I lost my dad 13 years ago. So, you said you thought you had to get over it real quick. You had to be patient with yourself. That's important. That is so important, that we don't rush the process and we don't allow other people to rush our process of internalizing what happened. Us losing a mom, a father, a loved one. That's hard. That can be very, very hard. So never allow yourself to rush, or never allow someone else to rush you through your process. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah. All right. Marcus said yes. Okay. So yes, let's talk about it, fam. Let's talk about the big whammy here. Depression. A lot of us have gone through that, right? A lot of us have gone through depression, and some of us will admit it, and some of us won't admit it, fam. Again, we're getting a little bit deep here. This is Power Therapy, family. Based on Raising Kanan, we are now talking about some of the things that some of these characters have gone through, whether it was displayed or not. Okay? So let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it, fam. I'm gonna get to you in the chat in a minute. Depression, the cause of depression, overwhelming loss and sadness, right? And yeah, it has a double here because, there's 2 solutions. Okay. I'm gonna read the first one. Solution. All ready? Accept that some things connect to loved ones, right? Journal on the present moment. Practice self-compassion. Seek professional help. Connect with loved ones. Establish small, what does that say? Routines. Allow feelings to be felt without judgment. Tell me that's easy to do. Tell me that's easy to do, and I got an iceberg to sell you. I think depression hits all of us the most, especially people in our community, right? And a lot of us may do certain things to get over it, right? As you said, Keywan, get over it, right? As fast as we can. So we'll say, I want to go out. We'll say, I want to go to the club. We'll say, pass me that. We'll say, give me that. We'll say, buy me this drink. We'll say, you know what I'm saying? Give me that edible. We'll do certain things to kind of numb ourselves and get through all of it. But most of that stuff is harmful to our own lives, right? Most of that stuff is harmful to us. I know this is the hard conversations that we don't want to have, but this is power therapy. And I think this may help somebody if it's not helping you. If you feel like this is helping, hit that like button, share this out with someone you think it can help. All right. But I think all of us have gone through depression. Some of us may still be in a depression. Some of us may be in an unconscious depression, right? So let me share with y'all. After losing my dad, January 7, 2013, I remember when it happened. I remember how it happened. He was in the hospital and he passed because he was really, really sick. And my girlfriend at the time, she had her family, she was living with her family. They lived in a house. They had separate sections. And she was like, you know what? Come stay with me. And she comforted me and everything. And made me waffles every day. I gained like 30 pounds, right? But instead of facing all of the feelings of the loss, I focused on my business. I had another business at the time, and I focused on just the business, just helping people, helping more people. The more people I helped, the more it helped me and my family. And at the end of the day, I went into an unconscious depression because I just didn't want to face the hurt and the pain of losing my dad. He was my best friend. You know what I mean? When you lose your best friend, who's your blood, who when you go around, you feel the presence, you feel the energy, you get rejuvenated every time you see this person, whether you're doing something or not, just being around them. I can tell you, fam, that unconscious depression, it helped me gain 30 pounds. That's not help at all. But I gained 30 pounds and it didn't hit me till after the fact that I just realized that I was overweight and I wasn't facing the pain. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to use something else to kind of like get away from the depression. But man. So once I realized that, of course, I went on my fitness kick and here we are today. Still big, but still happy. You know what I'm saying? And I lost weight. I lost some weight, but I'm good. I'm healthy. You know what I mean? That's the point. But yes, this is it. All right. Now let me see here. Let me pull this up. Do I have it here? All right. Let me just move out the way. Acceptance. You guys are here, right? Raising Kanan. It's over. It's acceptance. We're ready to move on, right? What's the cause? Integrating and finding peace. Okay. All right. So embrace the new reality, right? Let's say create meaning from the experience and honor the memory. Yep. Move towards with hope. Okay. Move towards it with hope. Okay. I can feel that. All right. Good stuff. Okay, we went through the heavy stuff, fam. Let's lighten it up a little bit. Okay, let me get to your chat. Let me get to the chat real quick, though. DeMarcus says, I often flip a negative into positive situations. A lost one is still here and present. In spirit. Yeah, appreciate that, brother. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Got to flip it. Kiwan says grounding, touching grass, listening to calming calmness of the water, etc. Yes, got you. All right, got you. Says thank you. It's been 13 years for you. 13 years for you too. Wow, me too. DeMarcus says Kanan could see Rock unalive in his dream, possibly. This Cupcake says, who cares about gaining weight when you have lost a parents? I lost both my parents within 4 months of each other. The weight can always be worked on. Absolutely, Miss Cupcake. And I wasn't saying that to be offensive. I was just telling you my story and what I went through. And, you know, for me personally, because my dad passed from a couple of things, but he passed mainly from an enlarged heart and heart problems that had everything to do with his health. So, you know, me gaining weight with the genetics of my dad, for me personally, it wasn't a good thing. So I had to, you know, be like, yo, I need to get on my fitness because I need to stay around. I need to be here, you know, to take care of the fam. So that's what it meant right there. But I feel you on that. You're right. You know what I'm saying? The weight always can be taken off, but you can never replace the person that you lost, right? I appreciate you for sharing that. Absolutely. Absolutely, fam. We're doing the deep stuff today. We're doing a deep dive today, but you know, let's lighten it up a little bit. Let's lighten it up a little bit, okay? I'm very connected to this show. And I guess I'm getting a little personal now. I'm connected to the show, one, because this kid right here looks like me when I was younger. Young Kanan looked like me. Or I look like young Kanan, right? And not that I had this situation where my mom's had to take me back to the park and put batteries in a sock and I had to go beat up some kids. None of that. That situation didn't happen. But I related to the show because while my dad was in my life and at some point my mother and father split, right? And when they split, of course, as a kid, you think it's your fault. It's not. And they made sure that I knew that. But at that point, my mom was raising me, right? Dad was 10 blocks up. So I could always see my dad anytime, stay with my dad anytime. But they just couldn't live together. But she was the one mainly taking care of me, right? During the week, I would see him on weekends, see him at church, see him, you know what I'm saying? Whenever I wanted. So I related to this show because of that single mom, single parent home. You know what I'm saying? That's something I was raised in, you know? Yes, I have an older brother, but we wasn't raised together. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, this show connected with me because I've connected with these characters and this situation. And I was raised in the 80s too. So you know, it's like a lot of different things I'm connecting with. You know what I mean? But that's then. This is now. I can say that she definitely taught him to be who he is, but when they had this conversation, this meant everything to them, and it meant everything to everybody that was watching the show. We started off here, we ended up here, right? So, fam, if you can relate, hit the like button. If you connect, hit the like button. All right? Now, some people need to understand that, yeah, this word narcissist floats around a lot. And we have to really look at some things here to recognize that, yes, there was some narcissism going on in this show. And we got to talk about it. I want to talk about it. And fam, you know, I'll put this together for y'all because this is just real. Right? So we talking about Rock. Right? Talking about Rock here and we talking about Kanan. Character analysis here. Yeah, your boy got deep on here. You know what I'm saying? Your boy got a little deep on here. All right? So let's talk about Rock, man. Rock Thomas, Raquel, right? Covert and malignant narcissism. Behavioral level. High spectrum, malignant and covert narcissism. Key traits: treats those around her, including family, as mere extensions of herself rather than autonomous individuals with rights. Core dynamic driven by an absolute need for empire control, famously manipulating, that's funny to say, famously manipulating Kanan by forcing him to shoot his biological father. Covert, malignant narcissism. Now, I wanted to see if this transferred into Kanan here, right? Now, let me pull up a different way because I'm gonna be in the way either way. Hold on. Yeah, your boy went in. I went in and did the research and did more research and got a little bit deeper than. Okay, pull us up here so I can read it like this. Appreciate y'all for rocking with your boys. Share this out. Hit the like button. And if you'd like to send a Cash App is at the bottom, fam. All right. So let's read Kanan's part. All right. It says severe emotional flattening and detachment. That's the behavioral level. Wait, hold on. Next to his name, it says antisocial, sociopathic trajectory. Jeez. Sociopathic trajectory. Crazy. Key traits. As the series progresses, Kanan showcases a chilling lack of empathy and deep emotional numbing. Y'all saw that. Y'all saw after he took out Lou, right? Y'all saw how he was just sitting there, even after he took out your boy Marv. Like, no emotions at all. Core dynamic displays an inability to process remorse following major violent events involving family members, pushing past standard narcissism into yeah, that word. All right. So, man, when you really look deep into this, man, this was a case study. If you really dig deep into this was a case study on how not to be, on what to recognize, because like I said, a lot of people throw around the word narcissism, but you got to understand that narcissism, there's levels. It's a spectrum, right? And they say right here, she is way high on that spectrum. Malignant. Okay. All right. Marcus, you say this is why the unalivement scene movies does not affect me because Darnell said it best in the shot. Emmett will see Jada in his mother's dreams. Okay. All right. Say happy birthday. Cool. Miss Cupcake says Rock raised a demon. Yeah. DeMarcus says, I wish Kanan would have told Rock that she was about to be a grandmother, though. That would have probably got Rock to leave town after she eliminated Pino to see her grandchild. Well, I think there was an opportunity if the wild card didn't show up. And we know the wild card is Juke, right? So I think that would have been cool for him to, at that point when they were talking, remember they were talking at the mall, Jamaica, Queens. They said, look, the girl I'm messing with is pregnant, so you might be a grandmother, but go see Stefano. Maybe she would have left town quick, but I think she had to go through this, bro. This it had to happen the way it did, bro. It really did. All right, family, if you're enjoying this, definitely hit the like button, share this out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so. Fam, we've seen a lot of transitions in this show. A lot of people were based on other people, right? But there was some positive and negatives to these folks, right? There was some positive and negatives. Now, we could talk about the narcissism. We could talk about all the bad traits. But there was some positive and negative to some of these folks. I know y'all said Kanan's a monster, but we can go through and just kind of chop it up and look at maybe some of the positives. Are there any positives to Kanan? Are there any positives to Juke? Right? So look, there are some positives to Kanan. that we may not want to look at because of what he did. But I think there's some things that we can look at and say, you know what? Yeah, he was like that. And you know what? I can actually learn some things from some of the things that he did and some of the things that he learned. All right. So positive traits. Let's look at it. Resourceful. Okay. I guess you could say he was resourceful. Street smart. Yeah. Protective. Yeah. Loyal to an inner circle. Yeah. Yeah. What's going on, Mitchy Music? I see you. Thank you for coming through. Hit the like button. You know what to do. You know what I mean? So I mean, Kanan has some positives if you really look at it. If you look at it from a different lens, I'll say it like that, right? So, calculating, loyal to inner circle, protective, street smart, resourceful. Yeah. Okay. Now, of course, we all want to look at the negative side because that's what this show kind of thrives on, the negativity of who Kanan was or who Kanan is. I should say was, right? Because we know he's gone. But the negative traits, of course, we know, right? Ruthless, manipulative, violent, paranoid, compartmentalized emotions. Yeah. Is that a negative thing, though? Is compartmentalizing your emotions a negative thing? I don't know if that's a negative thing. Do you guys think compartmentalizing your emotions is a negative thing? I don't know. I think that's a skill. To be honest with you, I think compartmentalizing your emotions is a skill. Because if you were just emotional all over the place, fam, I don't think that's a good thing. You know, but you guys let me know in the comments below. Let me know. I would say, he says, Kanan actually showed emotion when Rock eliminated Howard. Yeah, they had a conversation, yeah. He expressed himself. He didn't want it to happen, right? So yeah, I can see that. But here are some of the positive traits and negative traits that you may not have thought of because you're looking at Kanan like, this motherfucker just took out Marvin Lou and, you know, he just terrible. I get it. They say Kanan and Jukebox were both understanding, okay? Mitchy Music says Kanan positive. In the end, he put Tariq first in OG Power, okay? Kanicha says, I would call Kanan loyal. He was strategic and used the people in his inner circle to his advantage. Yeah, you can't be loyal and take out people in your circle. Okay. Kanan was book smart. Definitely book smart. Definitely was. You know what I mean? He was smart. He was just on the street. He would make dumb decisions. You know what I mean? Like the book smart, you're right. He was book smart, but not as street smart. He became more street smart, of course, right? He became more street smart. So, yeah. They say Juke started out with dreams, love, etc. Life turned the tide and made her empty. Yeah. What's going on, Kendall? How you doing, love? Good to see you. Thank you for coming through. You know what to do. Appreciate you. But these are some of the positive and negative traits of Kanan Stark. Okay. But we can't forget the fam, right? We can't forget the fam, oh man. Okay, let's go to Rock. Let's go to Rock. Look, man, everybody got positive and negative sides, right? To everybody, you're either part of their story, you're either a co-star in their life, or you're a villain. Because everybody in their own story feels like they're the star, right? You are number one in your own life story. Then you have co-stars, which is your people around you. Then you have associates, and then you have the ops, the enemies, right? You have those people who you see as the ops. But there's positives and negatives to everybody. Even the villains got a side of them that's like, man, if I had that trait, man, I would do this, that, and the third. Most of the time, the villains have these crazy positive traits that they're just using it for the wrong purpose, right? They're just using their intelligence or their smarts or everything for the wrong purpose, right? So Rock, let's talk about Rock. Intelligent, strategic, fiercely positive, ambitious leader, calculating business mind. We cannot disagree with that, yes? If you agree with that, put a 1. If you disagree, put a 0. I mean, we can't argue with this. Rock, definitely intelligent, strategic, fiercely protective, ambitious leader, calculating business mind. That's why everybody wanted to mess with her. I'm not just talking about like mess with her physically. I'm just talking about like they wanted to work with her. From Stefano to Pino, you know what I'm saying? Even your girl Flossie was like, yo, you're a woman and you're doing it, and you're you know what I'm saying? Another woman that's actually making big moves like this. I've never gotten to this. You remember what Flossie was saying? Like, Rock honestly was an inspiration, right? Like, people wanted to be Rock. People wanted to be in Rock place. People wanted to have Rock's mentality. You know what I mean? People wanted to move the way Rock does. Rock was fearless. You know what I mean? Remember, was it Sal or one of those guys was like, yo, you got a lot of balls. She was like, it ain't about the balls. She said something like I would take somebody's balls or something like that. Like, Rock was just fearless in everything that she did, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. So let's look at this. The negatives, right? Ruthlessly manipulative, deceptive to her son, emotionally controlling, and lethal in action. Yeah, she definitely is that. All of that. So, shout out to my homie, Trees from Shade in the City. Because even though she says her saying, right? She says the saying all the time. Two things can be true at the same time. This is true. It's the truth. Two things can be true at the same time. We are not a monolith. Okay, what you say? I see ones. She just says one. I agree with the positive, but I believe Rock did the best that she could, making many mistakes along the way as a boss and mother. Absolutely. Cupcake says 0 because she failed at raising her son properly. Okay. Kendall says OG Ghost actually moves and thinks like Rock, in your opinion. Okay. OG Ghost. Got it. Yeah. I can see that. Yep. Yeah, she just didn't need to put on a hood. You know what I'm saying? Ghost put on a hood. He go and handle that. She'll just come out with the black leather. You know what I'm saying? Looking like the Matrix is just, that's it. You know what I mean? That's it. She would just come out with that black leather with the black leather gloves, take out, Juliana. That was a sweet one. She had a lot of sweet unaliveness, man. I would say only Juliana wanted to be like Rock. Yeah, I guess. All right. Who else, man? Let's look at our fam right here. Let's look at some of the other fam. Because the show is so good that we're still talking about it now. And we're still learning from it, right? We're still learning from a lot of it. A lot of us can pull some stuff out. Be like, yo, I learned this and I learned that. And I was reminded of this, reminded of that, and da-da-da-da. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about your man right here. Yeah, let's talk about Uncle Marv, right? Dollar Short Uncle Marv, right? That's how he started off. He started off really just being the comic relief to us, being the big brother that really wasn't capable, right? Made some mistakes, wasn't capable. Rock had to take over. Rock took over. Even in the beginning, I watched some of I had to go back, watch some of season 1. And yeah, I mean, your girl Rock was sunning him like crazy in the beginning. Like, yo, if you could do the job, then you be the boss, but you're not. So I'm running this, so shut the F up. I remember Rock just going in on Marv. I was like, damn, this is crazy. But let's talk about the positive traits of Marvin Thomas, man. Uncle Marv, salute, rest in peace to Uncle Marv, man. My favorite character of the show. Okay, my favorite character of the show. Positive traits, devoted father figure. Now, he became that. He became a devoted father, right? Now again, you know what? I think he was a devoted father. It's just the fact that he didn't accept certain things when it was presented to him by Juke. That's when he became like, just went wild, but that's how it was in the 80s and the 90s. You know what I'm saying? When somebody presented that they was living a different lifestyle, it was not accepted as it is today, right? People went wow, like you were cast out of the family. You were, you know what I mean? But he was a devoted father, protective of the family, definitely. Street smart, absolutely. Resourceful, and musically talented. I don't know about the musically talented, but like maybe. I think that was probably for Lou, maybe. All right. Negative traits: impulsive. Yeah, temperamental. Yep. Addictive behavior. Addictive behavior. Wonder what they mean by that. Criminal involvement. Jealousy issues. Who was Marv jealous of? Was Marv jealous of Rock? Nah, because Marv was doing his own thing. I don't know how accurate this thing is right here. The musically talented, that's probably Lou more so. Jealousy issues, who was he jealous of? Do you think he was jealous of Rock in some way, shape, or form? Yeah, they forgot that. They forgot an array of snacks. You're right. They forgot that. They definitely forgot that. What's going on, fam? Thank you for coming through. Share this out. Share this out. You know what to do. All right. But these are some of the positive and negative traits. Certain things I agree with and I don't agree with right here, but you know, it is what it is. Let me go to the chat. What you say? Yep. Leather and stilettos. Yep. Talking about Rock. All right. Joyce Thomas never taught Rock how to love. Joyce Thomas showed Rock her own way of love, if that makes sense, right? Like everybody can show love in a different way, right? So if Joyce Thomas raised Rock in the best way that she could, that she knew how to, then she did the best that she could. That's why we talk about our parents today. You know, as we get older, you know, we realize that our parents did the best that they could do with what they knew how to do, right? Some of our parents, we would want this and want that. Why don't you set this up? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And it's like, they only know what they could do. You can only do what you know how to do. And if you need to learn and have the desire to learn, then you go learn. But when it comes down to raising kids and doing certain things and setting up the family, if you don't know how to do that, then you can't expect somebody to do something they don't know how to do. I hope that finds comfort in somebody's heart, because there's a lot of people to this day still blaming their parents on, well, I could have had this, could have had that. Okay, you're right on one end, but on the other end, they did the best that they could with what they knew, with the knowledge and the information that they had. Some of them had no access to information. Let me not go too deep. All right, Miss Cupcake says also Rock had no compassion for any of the other kids in the game. Yep, Marvin definitely pointed that one out. All right, what's going on, Mrs. Dawkins in the building? I see you. Thank you for that. So we say Rock had a generational curse from Joyce, yeah. All right. Let me say I didn't see Marv jealous of anyone. Yeah, I didn't see that either. So that's why I don't think that's that right there. I don't think that's accurate. All right, Kiwan says addictive behavior probably meant food. Okay. He was addicted to the snacks. Okay. My man DeMarcus with the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. He says Kanan eliminated Marvin like Nino Brown did G Money in New Jack City. I don't know. No, I would say no, because G Money was doing some wild, crazy, like betrayal, disloyal stuff. You know what I'm saying? In the organization, doing his own thing. And he was smoking the product, bro. Like G Money was smoking the crack. And he was smoking the product. Never get high on your own supply. So Nino, I wouldn't compare that to that. But thank you for the super chat. Marvin had compassion for people. He did. Definitely for Amber. Definitely for Gerald. Definitely for that whole family. What's up, Jay? Is the Jim is in the building? James the Gym says, hey, listen, Raquel at first wanted to the best for Kanan, like goals for Tariq, but children mean. Children man, okay. But children man, okay. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, yeah, no doubt. I saw you. It's all good. That's what's up. You know, I show love. If y'all go live, I'm gonna come through and show love. Absolutely. All right. Next. And I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy today. Definitely know what to do. Let's go to one of our faves, man. This was a hard one. Right here. Lou went through it. Like out of everybody, Lou and that character arc of Lou, he went through it, man. This Malcolm Mays, man, you did your thing, boy. All right, positive traits of Lou. Ambitious leader. Fiercely protective of family. Charismatic. Definitely had charisma. Calculating and strategic. And business savvy. I would say, add that musically inclined to this list. He was definitely musically inclined. Didn't have the best beats, but remember, this is a show. But yeah, definitely musically inclined. I mean, Lou's unalivement was definitely a surprise. I think that was one of the most, besides Drew taking out Rock, I think this one was like a super surprise at the beginning, and at the end they super surprised us with Juke and Rock at the end. So yeah. They say Lou was a voice of reason. Yeah, he was at times. Yeah, he was definitely the times. You know, charismatic. The man had charisma. You know what I mean? The man, every time you turn around in the earlier seasons, your man was smashing something. He was getting into something. You know what I'm saying? He was smashing some chick, whoever it was. You know what I mean? And I guess Shorty wasn't pregnant. Right? Or we still don't know. Now we know because everybody said that, Lou would get, what's her name? Not Juliana. What was her name? I hated her guess, yeah. I really didn't like her. Everybody was like, yeah, Lou gonna get Shorty pregnant. She gonna go to California and then have James St. Patrick, and Lou is Ghost's father. No. No, didn't happen. All right. But definitely that. All right. Negative traits. Ruthless. Remember, he came back to Dragon Slayer. Remember that. Manipulative, unforgiving, impulsive, violent tendencies. Yeah, your man was a semi. Lou was thorough. Lou was definitely a thorough dude. Like, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Kendall. Jessica, thank you. Lou was thorough, man. Even though, after he was drinking, of course, he got sloppy, whatever. They took him away, got him therapy, came back, He was a Dragon Slayer, boom. The way he took out, homeboys, the Muslim dudes or the African dudes, the way he did that, and they was in the studio, and, Lou was always smashing something, though. That's why I like Lou. Lou is my kind of dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would probably be my boy, like, yo, this Shorty over here, let's, you know what I mean? She got a friend, whatever. You want to rock with that? He's like, yeah, yeah, I'll take that right there. You know how he talk. Yeah, I'll take that right there. You see him? Let me talk to my people. Let me talk to Rock. Let me talk to Marv. Yo, Marv. I can't wait to see Origins, man. That kid that played him in the 1975 cut, man, sound just like him. Yeah, Rock. Yeah, But Lou was our guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though Marv was my favorite, Lou was a guy. Lulu was my favorite. Thomas. Okay, that was your favorite Thomas. Okay. Kendall says Lou was empathetic too because after he unalived D Wiz, he was tormented and mentally out of the game. Yeah, that really affected him. Yeah, definitely affected him. Man. Yeah, we remember, man. He went to the house. He went to his mom's house. Took out Scrappy's mom. Remember that? and the wig and the crazy. Missy Music says, I love Lou's heart. He had it rough, but I wish he could have stayed with us. Yeah. Yeah, Imani, yep. Imani, Jessica, yep. What was the other girl? There was the other girl. Remember the other girl he smashed too? Everybody forget about it. The other girl that took Juke's, that he gave Juke's song to. Remember her? Remember he took Juke's song and gave it to her. What was her name? Yeah, remember that girl? She was on for a little bit. It was a little, little Spanish mommy. You know what I mean? You remember that? I think they got the song on the radio too, but it was Juke's song. And Lou gave it to her. That was real shiesty too. Gotta put shiesty in there, negative. You was kind of shiesty with the business, son. You took your niece's song and you gave it to that girl. That was shiesty, Lou. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she gonna get writing credit, but did you get permission from Juke? Yeah, I was mad at you about that one. Let's not forget. Okay? Let's not forget. Okay? All right. Miss Cupcake with the super chat. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Said Lulu unaliving was senseless. Of course, due to the demon Kanan. Yes. You're right, Miss Cupcake. You are absolutely right. It was senseless. At the end of the day, I always said that Kanan shouldn't have been there in the first place. This is definitely not Juke's fault. Juke called him because she couldn't get in contact with Marv. Marv was in a shootout. Lou was available to go and try to help the situation, calm down the situation, whatever it was. He just walked in. And this is what happens. Your nephew pops you. Crazy. So, yeah. All right. It says Chantel, Scrappy's mom, okay? There you go. Ziza. That's right. That's her name, DeMarcus. You remember her, right? Let's not forget that little Spanish mommy. She was cute, but she, you know what I'm saying? She was innocent, though. She was like, I ain't know it was your song, Juke. Juke was about to roll up on her. Remember Juke rolled to the house, took the tape, threw it at her? You know what I mean? Like, I felt for Juke. I was mad with Juke because this bonehead gave her the song, man. It was like, yeah, no, it was business. You get right in public, and that's not what she wanted, B. That was her song. That was her song, Lou. Okay, but again, God rest the dead, right? let him rest in peace. What you say? I love the Lou and Marv fight on the sidewalk. Yeah, like brothers do sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. That was hilarious. Like, your girl was hitting the NBA player. You know what I'm saying? Was that the girl that Biggie was hitting? Because Biggie in his song said, he was smashing the girl that was smashing the guy that played for the New York Knicks. You remember that? See, I'm taking it way back. I'm taking it way back. All right. They say Jessica was very similar to Rock. How? What you mean? All right, let's keep going, man. Like, again, if you missed the show and all that it came with the show, fam, then go ahead and chime in below. All right. Let's talk about him, man. We can't go without talking about this man right here. This guy right here put us all through the ringer. Okay, this guy right here put us all through the ringer, fam. Right? Unique, positive trace, strategic leader, charismatic influencer. Absolutely, the dog had charisma. He had that je ne sais quoi for real. Protective of inner circle, street smart and resourceful, ambitious, visionary. Yeah, he was the one. Let's give it up to Unique, because he was the one that came up with the idea to sell the stuff out of the Chinese spot. Now, again, it was one spot. Remember, he was the one with that idea. Of course, Ronnie was like, yo, what you talking about, man? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no dudes gonna come. Like, Ronnie wasn't he wasn't open to the idea. But still, he was the one that started, yo, let's sell the stuff out of the Chinese spots. People come up in there, order their chicken wings and fried rice, and they get whatever on the side with the special order. They get the special order. Remember that? So, yeah, he definitely was an innovator. I will put innovator on there, too. You know what I mean? Because before that, Rock was selling out of the projects, right? That was his own, like, the Carter building. You remember? Like, like in New Jack City. So she was selling the joint out of the buildings, out of the projects, with all the different levels, remember? But he's the one that took it to the street with the Chinese food stores. So definitely he was an innovator too. Okay. What you say? You said Kendall says swag was impeccable. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man. Swag was impeccable, fam. Impeccable. Now, what are the negative traits, man? Negative traits of your boy. Ruthless competitor. Is that negative though? I guess. Paranoid and distrustful. Yeah. Impulsive violence. Yeah. Addictive tendencies. What was his addictive tendency? To buy change? Well, to get a new outfit? What? What was his addictive tendencies? Compartmentalized emotions. Okay, explain to me. Maybe you guys will understand it because I still don't agree with compartmentalized emotions being a negative. Like if I could take this emotion right here and put it over here in this little drawer here, right? And not let it affect me mentally. I could deal with it when I want to deal with it, or I can take it and put it in this little box over here, and then I can still operate. And then when I want to go back and deal with it, I can just take it out the box. I'm compartmentalizing these different emotions within me. Like if I'm angry with you, I'm not going to blow up on you right here on the spot. I'm going to compartmentalize it, put it to the side for a second, handle the business we need to handle. And later on, I may spin the block as a Scorpio with my tail. I don't know if that's a negative, yo. I really don't know if that's a negative. All right. What you say? So I actually like season 1 of Unique until he smashed Rock. Why you mad? Why you mad at that? Like Rock was giving him thanks for saving her life. I mean, come on. If you saving a woman's life and she want to give up the drawers, why are you not taking the drawers? Okay. Unique will never find out that Rock already never. Yep. Some things will be untold. Kendall says some of Unique's negative traits came from that head injury. Yep. He endured from Ronnie. Yeah. I mean, prior to that, Unique was pretty stable, right? I mean, he would pop off. Like he popped OC. Was that after? He popped a little OC after he got that head trauma, right? He was very impulsive. Yeah. Okay. What do we learn from this, fam? What do we learn from all this? Days of Jim says fashion icon. Absolutely. He was wearing them MCMs. He was wearing the Dapper Dan. Yeah, he was definitely on point with all of that, right? Mr. Beauty says, disagree with addictive. He only got paranoid after what his bro did to him. Okay, got you. Yeah, I mean, look, head trauma like that, a fight like that, you get jumped or that'll change you. Get into a fight like that, head trauma, it'll change you. Now, whether it changes you for good or for worse, that's up to you. It's up to you. All right. Vanessa was faithful to Unique. Definitely was. Yep. Okay. Thank you for rocking with your boy on this Saturday, on any day, whatever day that you're watching this. I appreciate you for coming through with your boy on this day, family. This is power therapy, fam. We are going through it. What do you say? He probably had CTE. Yeah, probably. Definitely had it. Family, if you're enjoying this, definitely share this out and let everybody know your boy VACAY is online. We are doing power therapy. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're getting a lot out of this. I worked on this for y'all. Definitely worked on this for y'all. Right? So we went through this. We went through that. All right, let's look through this real quick because I want to pull up some. Like I said, this show was based on real people. Okay? I don't think a lot of y'all know that. I don't know why YouTube is blocking people. Oh, they blocking people's comments? I don't know. It depends on what they say. Now it's run by AI, so, you know. Beat down and left for unalignment by his own brother. Yeah. Well, at least he left him alive. You know what I'm saying? He thought he was gone, right? He thought he was out. I mean, Kanan, Truth, they just blah, blah, blah. Like, we gonna make sure you're gone. So I think I asked this question, who did you relate to the most? After seeing all of this, after me breaking everything down, who did you relate with and connect to the most? Chime in below and let me know who you related to and connected with the most out of everybody. Because I told you, Uncle Marv, man, Marv was reminding me actually of like my father's best friend. They were church bros, like my family, his family, their family. Like, we were connected. All right. And Marv actually looks similar to my Uncle Lou. Called him Uncle Lou. That's funny, right? We called him Uncle Lou. His name was Louie. Called him Uncle Lou, Lou Welbin. From out of the Bronx, right? So he looked like Marv, but I called him Uncle Lou. That's wild, right? When I say I connected with this show, did I connect with this show? I think this show connected with me a lot, you know? But as I said, this show is based off of a lot of people in real life. I'm gonna bring a few of them up. And I don't know, some of you may have seen these pics or not. I'm gonna bring them up anyway. Man, hope you're enjoying your Saturday. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. This is Power Therapy, fam. Okay. But first though, I want to definitely big up 50 Cent, man. And I want to thank him for this show and all the other shows, man. Like, this dude, he's bringing out some really, really good shows that is connecting with the people, man. I think that's why we connect with him. So shout out to 50 on that, man. Keep bringing these dope shows, man, relatable shows. But here is somebody I want to bring up. Y'all know him, y'all love him. There he is. So, based on real people, Prince Miller, aka Ronnie. So that's the real life Ronnie, and that's the TV show Ronnie. That's wild, right? They don't look the same. I don't know. I don't know why they made him look like that though. But he definitely don't look the same. Sabrina Jackson, aka Rock Thomas. Now again, y'all remember that pic over there on the left? That's from Get Rich or Die Trying. So is that what 50's mom looked like? And would you say that, yeah, Rock looks very similar to the movie mom, right? The movie mom. I would say yeah. I would definitely say yeah. Yeah. They did a great job though. Rock, Patina Miller, amazing. Amazing, Patina Miller. Okay. We all know 50 Cent, aka Kanan Stark. Shout out to everybody. The people that put this together, it was wild. But shout out to y'all, man. Y'all did your thing on these. So 50 Cent's story is Kanan's story, huh? That's what they're saying. Okay, let me see who else we got. Yeah, these three. Let me bring up these three here. Thank you for rocking with your boy. Man, oh man, oh man. On this Saturday, fam. If you're enjoying yourselves, definitely share this out. Who's next? Uncle Horace, a.k.a. Uncle Marv. Real life TV show. Did they get it on the money? Does he look like Uncle Horace? That's wild, right? Let me see. You see, I was waiting for this. I needed therapy for the best show, in my opinion. Appreciate you, Minchie Music. Jukebox. Oh yeah, we gotta get Jukebox, right? I need to get Jukebox, right? Let me do that. Let me do that after this. You said, I wish we had a scene with Unique and Jukebox together. Yeah, we never got that. I connected with Lulu the most. Got it. I connected with all of them differently in some aspect. Okay, got you. Usa. Yeah. We need that. We need that. Yep. You said Ronnie scared you? Yeah. Rock definitely looked like her, yeah. We say when Kai embody 50, absolutely. Team Uncle Marv, yeah. Oh, what's going on, Steven? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming through. You know what to do. Appreciate you. All right. So thank you for mentioning that. We forgot Jukebox, didn't we? We forgot to talk about Jukebox. Let me find Jukebox because I know I got Jukebox in here. As far as her positive and negatives, right? We forgot to talk about Jukebox. How could we forget to talk about the character that blew our mind? Here it is. All right. Let's talk about the positive and negatives of Jukey Juke, Laverne Jukebox Thomas. Look at her looking. Don't look at me, man. I ain't do nothing to you. Chill. Don't come for me and mine, all right? All right. So some of the positive characteristics of Laverne, a.k.a. Jukebox. Resilient. Okay. Loyal. Yeah. Sharp-witted. Yep. Protective. Yep. Resourceful. Yes. You agree? Yeah. And she's a hell of a singer on top of that. I would put that in there too. What would you add to the positive characteristics? I know that's the talent. It's not not a characteristic of her, but doggone it, shout out to Haley Kilgore, man. She killed this role. Yep. Oh, I see. Yeah. All right. Negative characteristics of Juke: guarded, impulsive, distrustful, reckless, vindictive. I mean, if you look up the word vindictive, if you look up the word reckless, you'll see this face. I mean, Kanan be right next to her, but you'll see this face. Jeez, don't look. I ain't do nothing to you. Don't be looking at me like that. We good, right? Bam, she's scaring me. Why she looking at me like that? Chill, son. Okay. But yes, Laverne, man, I'm, what you say? Observational. There you go. Omari, thank you for that. Definitely observational. I mean, she reminds me of myself when it comes down to just watching, looking, calculating, seeing who does what, watch the patterns, see the consistencies and inconsistencies of people. Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Keish? Thanks for coming through. You said spot on, huh? Spot on for Juke. Yeah. Spot on. And thank you for reminding me about Juke. And thank you for coming through. And welcome to the fam again. I remember, Keish. You said you was going to come through. Here you are. I appreciate you. I hope you caught the beginning. All right. Jay's the Gym says, yeah, kind of, sort of, cause Kanan grandpops and moms raised them. Yeah. Okay. Oh, you mean 50, right? All right. Power Raising Kanan season 1 Jukebox. Yeah, I know, bro. What do you say? Omari Lucas says she knew the game more than Kanan. She made the choice not to be a part of the game. True. Empathy. Definitely a lot of empathy. Yeah, definitely a lot. Juke, man, I felt sorry for Juke, man. I mean, even though she did what she did, I still felt sorry for her, fam, because this story is not like calculating, right? Yeah. This story, her story is not a new story. But it's always going to be a sad story, right? Of a young, talented girl who could have went places, who could have done some things. Like, how many of you may have had some talent, singing talent, whatever talent it was, and it was just your dreams were unfulfilled because of circumstance, or because there wasn't an opportunity, or because there was an opportunity and then it was stripped away from you, or it was an opportunity and your parents didn't let you do it because they felt like something was wrong with that situation, or it wasn't the right situation, or some parents were jealous of their kids, so they didn't allow their kids to fulfill their own dreams because the parents didn't fulfill their own dreams. There's a lot of that going on. If you want to talk about it, we could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Some parents who aspire to be singers, and then they see their child, their son or daughter who may have talent, and they may nurture it, but when the opportunity comes along, they'll put every roadblock in the way to stop that child from getting opportunities. We're going to talk about it. Let's be real. And I'm not talking from experience, because my mom was and is the most supportive parent when it came down to my goals and my dreams. From DJing to music production to my singing group to all of that stuff, to me being signed to a label, to everything that I've ever done, my mother supported me in every way. But I know some children, some friends who wanted to do something similar to what I was doing, but their parents was like, nah, don't do it, nah. And they had a lot of talent. They could have went some places. But they was also being protective of their kids too, right? Sometimes overly protective of your children, man, can really hinder a child. Let me not go there, because I didn't have that experience. I could say that. Shout out to Mama Brown, for real. All right. So, all right, we in here. We in here. Are we on point with Juke? If we are, good stuff. All right. Man, I see y'all coming in hot. Kiwan says, remember when Juke mom sent her to church and the way the Saints handled her? Yeah, man. Hurtful. I want to say that this story, this raising Kanan for real, was really raising Juke. I'm gonna be honest with you, because Juke, while Kanan been through some stuff, Kanan did not go through what Juke went through. We watching both worlds. Can you agree that Kanan never went through what Juke went through? Okay? He went through his own. Everybody got their own path, right? But Juke not having a mom, Kanan not having a dad, Juke being raised by, her father and her aunt and uncle, right? Cool. Juke wanted to live a regular life knowing that her uncle and her father was into the life. Juke trying to go a different direction. Juke having, a girlfriend unalive by a mistake that she made, from a mistake that Kanan made, and a mistake that the girlfriend made because she shouldn't have been smoking crack, right? Right? Died on the spot, told her Pops what was going on, the lifestyle that she chose. Pops beat her down, kicked her out. She stayed with Rock and them. She aspired to be a singer. She got into a singing group. One of the girls was jealous. Crystal got the girls to jump in the train station. She beat all of them down, still made it to the practice, bloodied up and ready to go. Juke went to the army, They ain't accept her there. She decided to leave because she ain't want to go through the process, but she was on point. She was leading the pack. Juke was killing it. Juke was multi-talented on so many different levels, could sing any songs. She went to the church, just like you said with the moms and how they handle her and try to beat stuff out of her. Juke went through a lot, man. As I think about it now. This was raising Juke. For real. This was raising Juke. You know what I said the other day, you know, about her having her own spinoff? Like, this is her story. But I want to know what happens after this. That's why I said the own spinoff. But if that's gonna be in Origins, where we find out what happens to Juke, as far as her leaving, changing the name, becoming a cop, stuff like that. If that's gonna be in Origins, cool. But Juke went through it, man. Yeah, that's right. Being around dysfunctional family and all of that, man. And she made it. Like, she almost made it. She became the lead singer, really the lead singer of Butters. Y'all remember Butter? Butter was that group. They was performing in the mall, you know what I'm saying? After Shanice, I Like Your Smile. Like, she was in there, B. Like, she was on her way. Feds came because of her family and messed up that whole opportunity. Man, this was raising Juke. That's why this ending is so fitting. If you really think about everything that she went through and still rock, who will always choose Kanan over everybody. Now it makes sense. And Rock knew everything that she went through. So, man. Crazy, fam. I see you in the chat, fam. I see you in the chat. This was a wild ride, family. Wild ride. Welcome to Power Therapy, fam. All right. What's the last of? I have some things here, a couple things, and then we out. But thank you for rocking with me today. Here it is. I want to ask this question. Show one more person. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. Okay? No, I can't show it like this. I got to do it this way. Keep chatting in the chat, family. Share this out. Share this out if you're enjoying this right here. Welcome to Power Therapy. Woosah. Breathe in. Breathe out. As I pull this up here to ask you this question. Welcome to Power Therapy. This show will be missed. But out of all the shows, fam, which unalivement in the Power universe hit you the hardest? Yeah, this is Power Therapy. Which unalivement hit you the hardest? Was it Rock, Proctor, Lou, Lakeisha, Monet, Diamond, Lorenzo, Scrappy, Saks Fifth Avenue, Angela, Raina, Famous, Anya, Liliana, Zeke, Julio, Ghost, or Marv? Which one hit you the hardest? Yeah. I see y'all in the chat. Hold on, make it a little bigger. There we go. Put you on the side here. Okay, I see Marv, I see Raina, I see Proctor. Let me go over here. Yeah. Oh, y'all coming in hot. Rock hit you the hardest. Raina, Liliana. The list is long. I know. Look, you could pick 3, but it says the most. Which one hit you the hardest? Right? The hardest. It could be 2. Marvin and Ghost. That hit you the hardest, huh? Yeah. That's real, fam. It's okay. I appreciate y'all for being transparent. They say, P.S. Ghost deserved it. Okay. What's up, Gina? Gina says Marvin and Liliana. That hit you the hardest? You like Liliana, huh? What's going on, Tremaine? I see you. Thanks for coming through. Marvin and Ghost. Okay. Marvin. He says, Julio went out like a G. All right. Went out like a G. Okay. Yeah, fam. This is our universe, fam. Almost 20 years of power, fam. Almost 20 years. The power's still going. Say Lulu and Raina. Marvin and Proctor. Marva, Ghost, and Raina. Yeah. I'm seeing a lot more Marv than anything, and I guess that's why this pick was put together the way it was, because I think we connected with these two characters the most, right? Ghost and Marv. We connected with all of them, but Ghost and Marv were like pivotal individuals in their time period in these shows, right? While we love rock, of course, but Marv was that guy that was doing wrong but always trying to do right. I think that's the dichotomy. I think that's the oxymoron. I think that's where real life hits for us. While some of us may want to do right, sometimes we do wrong. Sometimes we may lie. Sometimes we may do something we shouldn't do, or we may be doing something low key that nobody knows that we're doing. Only God knows. Yeah, we having real talk today. We say love Liliana because I love Tommy the most. Yeah. Got you, Gina. Understood. Yeah. Liliana was hard. That was a hard one. Because she was defending. She was in the heat of battle. You know what I'm saying? And turn around. Don't let me go there, because then I got to talk about the whole force thing, and I don't want to do that right now. But yes. Tough. Marv was like the charm he wears. Yeah, the anchor. True. Good stuff on Marvin. I like that. Okay. What do you say? Okay. All right, fam. One more person we got to talk about. And I want your honest opinion on these guys, because I don't know, some people were okay and not okay with this guy right here. But I'm going to bring him up, and we're going to talk about him real quick. Welcome to Power Therapy, fam. You know what it is. Woosah. In through the nostrils, out through the mouth. Breathe, relax. It's going to be okay. Whatever you're going through, it's going to be all right. Power Therapy, we going to get it. All right, here we are. Once again, disclaimer, I am not a therapist. I just been through some stuff and know how to get through it. So I'm just sharing with you how I'm getting through it. All right, good stuff. All right, one more person we need to talk about. And I got to know your feelings as the family, as the VACAY fam. I got to know your thoughts on Breeze. Because some people, I see you, Woosah. Marv was like my favorite uncle at the cookout. Yeah. Marv was a top tier staple. Yeah, absolutely. I see y'all chat is coming up. Beautiful. All right, let's talk about it, fam. Breeze. Were we truly satisfied with this Breeze that they presented us in Raising Kanan? Did he do his job? Was he the best pick? And did he deliver on what we thought Breeze to be? Now, again, we didn't see a lot of them. We saw enough for us to kind of place a judgment. I think they gave us enough. But let's look at the positive, and then I want to hear your thoughts in the chat. Positive traits of Breeze. strategic leader. They say that for all of them, right? Intelligent planner, respected mentor, calculating and calm, street smart. Now, in the beginning, he wasn't as calm, right? In the beginning, I think he had to kind of like show who he was, right? He had to show that he was kind of a wild dude, that you shouldn't mess with me. You know what's funny about that? I'll give you a quick story. Vacay story time. I worked at Costco, right? I went from bagging the carts, becoming a cashier, to becoming like the #1 cashier because I was so fast and thorough what I was doing. Then it got to the point that they made me like a vault clerk to handle all the cash and the checks and all this and that. And then I did some administrative stuff. Then I went from working out in the warehouse to then working in the office, right? And they knew I was, went to church every Sunday and all of this and that. So they respected me on a lot of different levels because like, okay. Well, Jay got to go to church. He a godly guy, don't curse around him, right? That's how they was. It was real respectful of your boy. Turn around. We're in a meeting with the warehouse manager. Me and the warehouse manager, we were cool. He respected me. I respected him. Italian guy. And he went ahead and in the meeting was just cursing like crazy, kind of going nuts, but just to get his point across, just to kind of like, and it was kind of wild, right? Because I never seen him in this light. And he started cursing and da-da-da-da-da, and people got what he was saying. He said, yeah, get this done, get that done, da-da-da-da, right? Cursing. I went into to the office, to another office. It's like, all right, meeting's over. So I just left. I looked at him and left. And then he came in there and was like, yo, Jay, just wanted to let you know, I apologize to you, if what I said offended you. And I was like, man, you the warehouse man. You got to do what you got to do. He's like, nah, because, sometimes as a warehouse man, this is what he said. Listen, this is the point. He said, sometimes as a manager of an entire warehouse, sometimes I have to kind of go crazy a little bit to get my point across, to get the people to do what I need them to do. And I was like, okay, thank you for that. Thank you for explaining. So as I'm looking at Breeze being kind of cool in the beginning and then going nuts with the Fight Club and then this and that and all of that, going wild. And then he calmed down the further along we went into the season. It just came back to me what that warehouse manager said. Sometimes as a leader, you got to kind of like be a little on a crazy level or display that in order to get your people to do what you want them to do. And it may not be who you truly are. That may not be the method that you want to do it, but that's how the warehouse manager did it. And that's how this guy did it. Because everybody after that whole fight thing, after he popped people, after this, that, and the third, after all of that, people respected Breeze. You know what I'm saying? Chopping up bodies, people respected Breeze. Even Kanan respected Breeze. Because Breeze was teaching him some things. Breeze taught him how to chop up some bodies. Okay? Breeze taught him a couple things. Breeze taught him how to be more diplomatic instead of just retaliating, going back and popping people, this, that, and the third. Remember, he wanted to, Kanan wanted to pop back on Rock in a club and this, that, and he's like, nah, man, let's take a different approach. He even did that and helped Stefano take a different approach on how to get back at Rock through going to Hafiz and getting Hafiz to stop doing business with Rock. He made that happen and talked Stefano into doing it that way and being more diplomatic. So yeah, man. All right, negative traits: ruthless, disciplinarian. Yeah. Emotionally detached, compartmentalized loyalty. Oh, that's new. He compartmentalized loyalty. That's not compartmentalizing emotions. That's something different. Violent when challenged can be deceptive. Absolutely. All right, what you say? I see you in the chat. Said family means everything to Breeze. I don't know, because he was pretty mad when, Snaps and Pops kind of like, we gonna replace you because of what you did on the side. I don't know. He wasn't too upset about finding out that Snaps and Pops got popped. He's like, well, it is what it is. You know? Like his whole attitude, yeah, definitely. Manipulative, yep. I see you. So, were you satisfied with Breeze? Was Breeze all that you wanted him to be? Again, we're going to see Breeze again in Origins. I don't know how long we're going to see him, but we are going to see him again. We are going to see him again in Origins. Okay? All right. All right, cool. All right, family. Let me get, what was it? One more thing here. And then we going to be out, man. I want to get your final thoughts. Are we ready? Are we truly ready for the next chapter? Now, some of y'all in the beginning, you said you were. You know what I'm saying? I did that already. Some of y'all said y'all ready. Before I get to that, we have to acknowledge your boy, our boy, because this is true. Tommy Egan is the only character to appear in all 6 shows of the Power universe. Tommy had a legendary run. And when you say had, no, he's still alive. He has a legendary run. Tommy's not gone. Right? So Tommy's in Raising Kanan, Force, Power, gonna be in Origins, Ghost, and he's gonna be in Legacy. Talk about character armor, plot armor. Talk about he ain't going nowhere, bro. Tommy will be here as long as Tommy's here. In whatever form that he's in, whether he's baby Tommy, he's Origins Tommy, Tommy gonna be here for a long time. I mean, for a long time. All right? Okay. So all of y'all ready. I hear you. You know, I've been excited about Origins for a minute now. You know, I've been taking whatever I got as far as Origins and posting it out and everything. But yeah, we're going into that next phase of Power. And I'm ready for it. I think everybody is who's a real Power fan, we are ready for this to happen. You know what I'm saying? We're ready for this to happen right here. And they've been talking about it for a long time. They've been talking about Origins for a long time. So if you guys are ready and you're good, hopefully we see this woman right here. Hopefully she's part of the story. Didn't hear anything. But we may just see Juke just leave and just go off and be like, all right, I'm out of here. I'm going to DC. But here we are, family. 1993 is the end. And we're going to be in Origins in 2002. 9 years later, that's where Origins is going to start. That's what they say. All right. So are you ready for that? Yeah, I think we're all ready. This is it. This is it. Power Origins is next. Can't come any sooner. We're looking at what? 2027, hopefully early 2027. But right here, story is set in the late 90s, early 2000s. So it's going to be the late 90s, early 2000s. Following Young, Ghost, and Tommy Egan. Okay. I guess they're going to throw Kanan in there. Kanan going to be there because he got to teach him whatever. But it's really following them. And from what, you know, Sasha Penn says, it's going to be lighter. You're jazzed? You're jazzed. I like that. Yes, it's supposed to be lighter, way lighter than Raising Kanan. Raising Kanan was dark, you know, but this is supposed to be lighter. So we'll see how it goes. You know, we'll see how it goes. But family, I can tell you, man, I am honored that you guys have spent some time with me today. Hold on. All right. Can you hear me? I'm honored you guys have spent some time with me today. I do this for y'all. Y'all know that. And I also do it for myself, right? And I think that we're in this thing together, right? So I appreciate each and every one of you guys, my VACAY VIPs. I appreciate everybody for coming through, whether you're a member or not. But if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Go ahead. If you want to contribute $1 to the Cash App, I appreciate that too. $1, $5, whatever. That's cool. Family, I hope today's therapy has been helpful. I hope it's been an eye-opener for you. I hope we can learn some things from all of this and that. Thank you for all the super chats, the Marcus for all the super chats, and thank you to everybody for sending the super chat. Thank you to everybody who ever supported VACAY-JayTV. We're going to keep this thing going. A lot of changes going on in YouTube. So, I'm going to be here. Some of your favorites may be gone, but I'm going to be right here for y'all, fam. All right? So this has been Power Therapy, family. Thank you. Keep me in your prayers, man. Like I said the other day, I was sick as a dog, but I'm better today. God bless me to be here with y'all. I hope what we did today was helpful. And if you feel it was and you enjoyed it, definitely share it out with the people that you know that loves raising Kanan power and just needs some help and prayer. All right? It's your boy VACAY-Jay. I'm going to see y'all next time in the next live event, family. Look out. Keep your notification bells on. I appreciate y'all. Till next time. Salute.
All the blood on the ring.
Can you hear the black cry?
When the children sing. From the projects to the heavens, let the echoes collide.
You lie.
Every fallen name in the night still rise.
Still rise.
If the throne gotta crumble for our souls to be free.
To be free.
Then the last shot echoes like a symphony.
Symphony. From the shadows to the throne, we was raised in the fire.
Raised up,
Every loss, every scar just kept feeding desire.
kept feeding. With a rock stand tall.
When the last shots ring,
Stand tall.
fall when the smoke clears.
Crown on a thin string.
Then stream. We gon' ride through the storm till the truth comes out.
Through the storm.
Find out if rock makes it when the guns run out. When they crying. In this war of an era where the streets still sing. They sing. Oh. Either die for the power, or you die for the king.
For the king. For the king. Salute, salute.
Salute.
Queens to the world.
Final curtain on the block. Let the story be told.
Let it ride.
Voices in the sky.
Let the choir unfold.